Welcome everyone. Filcha. Now, before we get into today's video about spirit animals and where I elaborate on kind of my thoughts and viewpoints and how I practice with the idea of spirit animals, I want to take a moment to thank everybody who's continued to subscribe and continue to watch the videos. I will be posting more videos up and coming. I'm working on, the format of my videos and how I want them to go, as well as trying to trim down length of video and kind of specialize in on specific things when I talk, because I can ramble. I'm sorry. Now, so again, thank everybody for all your support. Thank everybody who's continued to watch the channel through my hiatus, and welcome back, and welcome to my little section of the forest, as it were. My little world of the wood. Now, so let's dive right in. This is Mishi. She will be in and out of the video at her pleasure. She lives here doing her own thing. Cats. Can't live with them, can't live without them. So let's talk a little bit about spirit animals. Let's do a little bit of vocabulary. Let's do some bearded pagan vocabulary. So in my videos, these are things that I talk about from my perspective, from my point of view, and how I choose to interpret the lore and the esoteric signs of the world around me. And they may clash with other viewpoints. I think that that's one of the benefits of paganism, is that you can have two different viewpoints. And there are people who will use the word spirit animal to very often describe animals that they attribute to being like themselves, or animals that they try and attribute themselves to be like. And, for a lot of people, that's cats or dogs, and you find it a lot of times, at least with a lot of the Wiccans that I've met. If they say that their spirit animal is a particular animal, they tend to go out of their way to bring that animal into their home and try and learn from that animal. Or if they determine that their spirit animal is a particular animal, they start to kind of learn more about it. And that's a wonderful thing, but that is not how I use the phrase spirit animal. In a lot of Norse paganism, they talk about philia. And in Neo-Norse paganism, a lot of people use philia interchangeably with spirit animal. In my experience with the lore, and in my experience in dealing with people who do possess a philia, which is an animal spirit, roughly translated, but it's a very different kind of animal spirit. Philia do not change shape. If your philia is a bear, it will be a bear for your whole life. It will not morph and change with you as your tastes change, as your personality flourishes and grows, as you learn more about who you are, or whatever your path is that you're taking. Your philia will not change. Some people have talked to me about their spirit animals changing based on their mental state and what they need in their life. And those are the kinds of spirit animals that I am going to be talking about. So in my experience, spirit animals like that shape change based on what you need, they are less exactly spirit animals, and they're more like fairy folk who are watching out for you. Now, this could be fairy folk, one of your great ancestors who is gone on to become one of the fair folk, or this could be one of the fair folk who is simply taken an interest in you and wants to help you better yourself, or perhaps Perhaps you've asked a deity for help in your life, and they chose to send one of their messengers to you in the form of one of these fair folk who will teach you what they can teach you through imagery and interacting with the world of your dreams and the world around you. And perhaps sometimes they will stick around and they'll be friends of yours for the entirety of your life. In some cases, I've seen where a spirit animal in the method that I'm talking about has actually been passed down from a family member to another family member who needed it more. And so that's where I come to the determination that spirit animals, when talked about like that, and there are these shape-changing animal forms that teach you things along your life, those are less philia. They're not philia. They're spirit animals, or they're fair folk. That they just take the form of animals because that is a way that connects with you, that you understand, and you can see that imagery better than you can if it were to take the shape of a human that you know or a human you don't know. Some people just listen to animals better than they listen to people. I would probably be one of them. So with that out of the way, I want to kind of focus in on two spirit animals in particular today. I've had a lot of people in person ask me about the cat, and I've had some people over comments and over emails and such ask me about the deer. And let's start with the cat, as I feel like there are plenty of people who will say, oh, my spirit animal is the cat. It's so gracious, it's agile, it's, it lives on its own, it plays by its own rules. Sorry, some of my birds are being crazy, so I'm watching them for a little bit. I might try and introduce you guys to my flock one day. Not today, but one day I'll try and introduce you guys to my flock. The cat is those things. And when your spirit animal is taking the form of the cat, perhaps the things that you should try and learn from it are things along the line of adaptability. I feel like cats, you can for sure say that cats are some of the most adaptable animals that we've run into in the world. They can live in jungles, they can live in tundras. They don't anymore until we can reclaim the Amur tiger's homeland in Siberia. But until that happens, they have lived in tundras. Saber-toothed cats lived during the Ice Age. There are cats that live in deserts, cats that live in marshes and swamps, deciduous forests. Cats live everywhere. So they're extremely adaptable. So I feel like if your spirit animal is a cat, what you should be trying to learn from it is adaptability, how to overcome the obstacles in your life by not necessarily changing who you are, but changing how you think about things, how you interact with things. You can much more easily change how you react to a situation than you can change the situation itself. And that brings me to the deer. So deer is another animal that could potentially be adaptability, and there are all kinds of animals that fall into the deer family. Reindeer, stag, moose, whitetail. And in these cases, a lot of times they are different to the individual. And a lot of times, something people don't like to hear is that the meanings are going to be individual to the person. People don't like to hear that very often, but it's fairly true. A cat may mean one thing to me and may mean a completely different thing to you. So the lessons that we're going to learn from those animals might be fairly different, or in another situation, we could have the same spirit animal, the same time, the same lessons, and just be at different points in learning that particular lesson. So I think what form your deer spirit animal takes is going to be important when trying to learn what it's trying to teach you. Mishi. Mishi. Come here. Yeah, come here. Thank you. I think that that's going to be important, and that what you're going to need to look at is what is it that the animal is trying to teach you. Generally, when I have seen people who have deer as their spirit animal, they need to learn peaceful resolutions. They need to learn how to be at peace. Deer are very peaceful when you sit and you watch them out here in the woods. The deer don't fight with one another very often. I know there's the rut and, you know, pre-breeding and males trying to show off for the females, but humans do that too. But typically speaking, when I watch a couple of families of deer roam through my little section of the wood here, they're very at peace. They interact with one another very friendly. They're showing each other other things. They're playing. And I think that if your spirit animal is the deer, you need to take a look at that. And you need to take a look at your interactions with other people that are close to you. And maybe learn from them. Maybe teach one of your family members something about yourself. Or, you know, show them a place that you love to go eat. You know, these are small things, it would seem, but very often they're not taken advantage of. Sometimes just showing your family that you know that they're there is what you need to do, because sometimes you forget that they're there. That's what I've got for everyone today. If you have any other questions, if you have comments, if you'd like to share your story with me, I will be posting a video that has some of my contact information so that anybody who wants to get a hold of me can get a hold of me. But if you have some comments, if you have ideas for future videos, I would love to hear them. Post them in the comment section down below. And I suppose I will see you all in another video. Blessings of the forest to everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Man, I'm so out of practice with this. Blessings of the forest, you all. Have a good evening. Say bye, Mishi. Say bye.